Hey everyone, my name is Nick, and I am here to review The X Factor, Season 2. Uh, I did reviews like this for American Idol Season 11, and overall I didn't really enjoy that season very much. But X Factor is on now, and I'm not enjoying this season very much either. Like with Idol, it's not the contestants, although, actually with X Factor, it's a couple of the contestants. But just in general, the entire show was just annoying me. But nevertheless, I'm here to review them. Okay, so the theme last night for the top 13 should have been the top 12, but the judges decided to cheat and bring back an extra teen. Uh, I'll get to that later. And it was a top 13 last night, and everyone who performed, I enjoyed about half of the performances. The other half wasn't really crazy about. Alright, so I'm gonna rank them worst to first. And by the way, the theme last night was songs from movies. And bear in mind, they took this theme very loosely, just like last season. Alright, so here goes. Worst. Lyric 145. A lot of people love this group. I don't. I get a headache every time they come on stage. It's they sang supercalifragilisticexpialidocious from Mary Poppins, as opposed to supercalifragilisticexpialidocious from Jurassic Park. But this just was annoying for me in so many ways. It was like being tied upside down in a hallway made of metal while people throw pots and pans all around. It was just nothing but noise. I did not like it. I don't even really like any of the people in the group. I mean, the two guys in it, who I'm pretty sure are crisscross, all grown up, they have no personalities whatsoever. And the girl in the group, Lyric the Queen, that she's like a cross between Michonne and the Governor from the Walking Dead comics. And they just, I don't really like them. I especially don't like her. The guys, I'm indifferent to them. But her, she really irritates me. I don't know what it is. She's just so in your face. It drives me nuts. Anyway, yeah, that just didn't like it at all. Moving on, number 12, Cece Fry. Now, I do not like this girl at all. I mean, from the beginning, they were showing her to not be a particularly nice person. It might be manipulative editing. I don't know. All I know is the show isn't giving me a reason to like her. And she isn't giving me a reason to like her either, because she is not very good, singing-wise. She sang Eye of the Tiger from Rocky. And it was lame. It was really, really lame. I would admit if she had a good performance, a performance that I liked, but she didn't. I just was not a fan at all. Number 11, Jason Brock. This guy, I think he has the potential to be very good, but he's really not living up to it. Like, I remember his audition, he rambled at length about what his stage would look like, and here he was tonight, just standing there singing a song done by 5 trillion other people on these shows, wearing a jacket that I'm pretty sure was made out of melted candles, and I didn't like it. I really didn't. I thought it was okay. I thought he sounded good, but he sang "I Believe I Can Fly" from R. Kelly, which is technically from Space Jam. Like I said, they're really loose with the theme. At least that might have been on the soundtrack. I don't know. I don't really remember Space Jam all that well. But it was nothing interesting. I mean, so many people have done that song on Idol before. He didn't do anything new with it. Number 10, Paige Thomas. Now, I'm pretty sure both her and Cece are still here because they keep fighting with each other. Like, I mean, barely. They barely even talk to each other anymore. Like, they barely pay attention to each other. And they're both just still here for the drama that they are not causing. But it's just. But anyway, her performance. I don't even remember what she's saying. But it was all right, but I was not crazy about it. I thought it was extremely overproduced. She comes down in a harness. She's like flying, and she's wearing a dress that like blows right in her face. I thought that was hilarious. It was just so stupid. But yeah, performance-wise, I wasn't crazy about it at all. Just thought it was really, really lame. I honestly don't think she deserves to be here at all. Number 9, Aaron Ray. He sang American Boy, which is technically from the movie Obsessed, starring Beyonce, which was a terrible movie, by the way, but I digress. And, yeah, that wasn't really from... I think it was featured in the movie, like, playing in the background at one point. I think that's all he really has to be a song from a movie. But, he was the one who opened the show, and he was just really boring. I think he opened the show. He was one of the first ones. No, he was the first. And he was just really lame. He really was. He didn't sound very good. It was a stupid song choice. It was also very overproduced, stage-wise. I didn't like it. But, of course, the judges did. I don't know why. Number 8, Diamond White. Now, this is the one they brought back. And, you know, she kind of deserved to be brought back, because she was really good. I thought she had a lot of potential. So they bring her back, and she is extremely disappointing. She sang I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. And that's another one that's been done to death by everyone. You know, everyone has to sing Whitney. It's like every woman who has ever been on these shows has at one point sung a Whitney Houston song. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, just judging on this performance alone, I don't see why they brought her back. It could have been a lot better. But the judges still liked it. I don't know. And number 7 was Beatrice Miller sang Iris from the Goo Goo Dolls from the movie City of Angels. And I love that song. That's another one that's been done a few times before on shows like this. But yeah, it wasn't that good, really. I mean, it wasn't bad. She's just a lot better than that. There's this ongoing comparison between her and Carly Rose Sonnenclair, who I will get to eventually. I don't really see what they have in common other than the fact that they're both, like, 13 years old. Other than that, so what? Diamond's like 13, and they don't compare her to them. Yeah, Beatrice was very disappointing for me. And, of course, the judges still liked it. I can't help but wonder if it's in Britney's contract, or in the other judges' contracts specifically, that they can't judge any of Britney's acts negatively. Otherwise, she might go crazy and shave her head again and attack people with umbrellas again. I don't know. All I know is that no one in Britney's category has gotten any real criticism so far this season. They've gotten some minor, it was okay comments. That's like the worst any of them have gotten. Anyway, moving on. Number 6, Emblem 3. Now this is the group that Simon is clearly trying to push on us. And he's trying to make them like One Direction 2.0. And he actually... This was a real cluster of a performance. They sang My Girl by The Temptations and California Girls by Katy Perry to the beat of none other than What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. And this is specifically after Simon said, no gimmicks. Like, that's pretty gimmicky, Simon. Like, I mean, they are the musical guest on tonight's episode, so yeah, it's kind of gimmicky. I wouldn't mind if you didn't promise no gimmicks, but whatever. But anyway, as far as the performance goes, they were pretty good. You know, it wasn't their best. They were a lot better last week. Last week I thought they were probably one of the best of the night. But yeah, they were good. I thought they were solid. I don't see them going anywhere. In fact, I see them probably winning, actually. Number 5, Janelle Garcia. Now, this girl is one of my favorites, and I'm not just saying that because she's from Rochester, Massachusetts, and me and her live in the same county, actually. So I'm not even just in love with her because of that. I'm in love with her because she is awesome. And I thought she was awesome tonight. She sang I Love Rock and Roll from Joan Jett. And the judges hated it. Well, L.A. and Simon hated it. I thought it was really unfair. Like, they were like, it's exactly like Joan Jett. Who cares? That's not easy to do. Joan Jett is pretty B.A. And Janelle reminded me a lot of her. She did a very good job with it. And really drove me nuts how the judges hated it. No, L.A. and Simon. It seemed like Simon was on a mission to undermine Demi every step of the way. Well, with Cece and Paige, I don't completely disagree. But Janelle, I thought she got a little unfair treatment. But I don't think she's going anywhere, at least I certainly hope not. I hope they didn't get into America, because she was the best last week. By a mile. Like, LA gave her a 10, which is something considering she's not even in his category. So, yeah. I don't see her going anywhere. At least I hope not. Number 4, Tate Stevens, saying Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. And remember last week, the judges were saying that maybe he could use a little more pizzazz while he's on stage. Like, he could have more going on instead of just him singing there. Standing there singing, I mean. But, you know, I thought that's all he needed to do. He's a country singer, and he has a very soulful country voice. And I was content just hearing him sing. But he decided to actually put on a show, and he did really well. He had, like, flames and everything. He was moving around. He was trying to engage with the audience. Like, Wanted Dead or Alive, whenever he said, Wanted, he tried to put the microphone in the audience, and they didn't say, Wanted, back. Like, barely anyone did. After the second time he tried, he's just like, oh, you people. I thought that was funny. But, yeah, so what if the audience didn't go along with it completely? And they're, judging from the look of them, they're all about 15 years old. They probably don't even know who Bon Jovi is. So, but yeah, it was a fun performance. It was one of his best so far. And I'm positive that he's safe. Number 3, Fifth Harmony, or 1432, or Lila's, or 5 girls who auditioned individually and then got thrown into a group. Whatever their name is. It's changed every week so far. Hopefully Fifth Harmony will stick. And I hope they stick around, because they were incredible. They were definitely one of the best. They closed the show. And I guess they were just closing the show so they could build up to what the name was. But no, they were genuinely really good. Like, they deserved to close the show. They were definitely one of the best of the entire night, in my opinion. A lot of people think they were the best. Almost, for me. Number 2, Vino Alon. Now, last week, he was good, but he could have been a lot better. Tonight, he was a lot better. He sang When a Man Loves a Woman, and he was just amazing, you know. And he finally showed the artist that he should be marketed as a soulful, rock-ish singer. Like, he's definitely got a rocker edge to him, but it wasn't there in this performance. He would just want to show a soulful side, and it was really good. And yeah, I just thought he was really, really, really good. He's been one of my favorites from the beginning, and pretty sure he's the oldest person still there. I think he's 40 years old, which is nothing compared to last year. Leroy Bell, he was 60. He was the oldest by a clear margin, and he was one of my favorites. I don't know, I guess I'm just automatically drawn to the older guys. But, hey, if they're good, they're good. I don't care. Finally, number 1, best of the night. Like Vino, she was only pretty good last week, but was obviously capable of so much more. Carly Rose Sonnenclair. And she sang... What did she sing? It Will Rain by Bruno Mars. And she just did a really good job with it. I think she was even better than Bruno Mars himself. Like, his version, anyway. I mean, she sang it with a lot of passion, and her heart was in it, and it was just fantastic. I thought it was probably one of the best performances of the season, in my opinion. So, yeah, it was just fantastic. I loved her. I've loved her from the beginning. I think she kind of reminds me of Rachel Crow from last season. The adorable little 13-year-old who looked like she was 5. But, yeah, I love Carly. I think she could go very far, and I hope she doesn't get screwed into just, what was it, 5th place that Rachel got last year? That was a joke. That was ridiculous. I was so mad at that. I almost stopped watching. If it was my man Josh Krajicek, I would have stopped watching. Believe that. So, anyway, that's my ranking. So, what do I think the bottom 2 will be? They are only going to send one person home. I thought they'd send 2 home because they have an extra person. But no, they've decided to make this as complicated as they can possibly make it. I think Jason Brock is going to be in the bottom 2. I'm almost positive about that. In fact, I'm positive that he's going to be the one to go. As for the other act in the bottom 2, I'm not really sure. I'm actually leaning towards Cece. Although I think people might just still be voting for her because they'll all be like, oh no, she's really changed. She's a lot better now. Like, no, she's not. She's dyed her hair blonde and she's acting equally horrible as she was before. And everyone's just saying she's better. She's basically a white female Chris Brown. Okay? Almost. She's a terrible person in a completely different way. And she's not that terrible. But I digress. If it's not her in the bottom 2, then it might be either Lyric 145 or Paige Thomas. But like I said, Jason Brock is going home. Period. So, that's my review. Strictly my opinion. If you disagree, that's cool. Just don't be a D-bag about it. That's all I ask. Thanks for watching. See you next time with my thoughts on the results.